Good morning, everyone. We are streaming live, and what we're doing is the 5 minute binary options this morning. Now, I personally love the 5 minute binary options, but I've been doing this for a long time. Um, Basically, I've been doing this for over 15 years. I am more of a shorter term trader, not a long term trader. Okay. The one thing that I'm watching this morning, over on the left side of my screen, you can see my charts. Over on the right side of the screen, you can actually see Nadex. Now, you can also see that this is a demo. Okay. This is for educational purposes only. It is not meant to be trading advice. Again, I'm showing you how to trade the 5 minute binary options. I use a very low risk entry point. Okay. That means typically on any binary I trade, I'm going to get it for less than $30 of risk. Okay. I don't like high risk trades. That's not my trading style. One reason I do that is because I don't have to worry about being the world's greatest trader as long as I'm using a low risk methodology with a high reward. Then statistically, I have the potential of making money in the markets. Okay. Now, you also see that I have a 1 minute chart here and here. This is just identifying where my ATRs are on the 1 minute, 3 minute, and 5 minute, which are my dominant time frames. So right now, the white ATR identifies my 1 minute ATR. The blue identifies the 3 minute. The red identifies the 5 minute. You can also see over here, I have the 15 minute. We've just made a magenta peak, so I do think this is going to come down to about 112.19. If you notice on this 1 minute chart, you can see that it flipped this ATR from blue to red, but then it went back and tested it. I expect something similar to that over here on the 3 minute chart. Okay. What I would like to see right now is for the 1 minute to get closer to this 80 line to identify that it is overextended. The one issue that I see right now is this has got to curve up a little bit. Okay. I do have two stochastics on my chart. The first one, which has the yellow dotted lines, they identify hidden divergence. The second one identifies basic trend divergence. Okay. Over on the 5 minute chart, you see I have the ATR. This is just a basic ATR that measures one period. And the reason that I have it on there is I like to see how much movement we are getting on a 5 minute bar. Right now, the strike width on the USD JPY is after 810, so that strike width is at 4 pips. That means if I'm using an out of the money binary option, I need it to move more than 4 pips because I'm one strike out. Right now, you're not even moving 4 pips on this. So it's going to be hard to make money on this at the moment. That can change. It could come back here and test the 39 area, 40 area before it starts to come down. The other one I've been trading a lot this morning has actually been the British pound yen. It does not double when the market opens. It stays at 5 pips. Okay. So in this case, you can see that we've had trend divergence. Okay. You're making lower lows, but in the stochastics, you're making higher lows. What would be really cool is if this went back, did not take out this high and gave us hidden divergence. Okay. This blue ATR represents the red ATR from the 3 minute chart. Okay. This can either bounce off of this white dot or it will bounce off of this blue cross. Okay. One of the two. You can also look at the euro dollar. But again, the euro dollar this time of the morning, again, that is a 4 pip move between your strikes. Okay. You can see that it is retracing upwards. it's trying to get up here to this red ATR right here. Okay. Frankly, I would think that it would test the 1382 area first. Would not want to go into it with this being overextended. That would be a real no-no. This one tells me it's actually going to come down some. Let's go and look at the euro yen. Any of these that have the MPK in this column tells me they're in the middle of a retracement. That means I'm going to be counter trend trading, not trend trading. Okay. This one is coming back into this ATR. You can also see that you had hidden divergence right here. This is what's pushing the market up. Would I want to go in long with this being overextended? No, no can do. And I will say, the ones that are going to be harder to trade are these that have the split ATRs. You got blue on top, you got white on bottom. Those are going to be much harder to trade than if all three ATRs were on top. Like, over here, at least you had two in your favor. Let's see what else. Here is the perfect trade setup, and that probably had hidden divergence on it. I imagine the hidden divergence came in on this bar. And this is where you can go over and look at the euro again. You've got about 2 minutes and 53 seconds. Now, the problem with this one is you're at 97. You have an ATR at about 89. It's testing this support line over here. Could it come down? Yes. But this is where you really need to say, okay, where are my strikes? You could get 96 for $25 of risk. I'm just going to do one contract here. It's got 2 minutes and 20 seconds. See if I can get in. Yeah. Now your strike is at 96. That is 6 pips above where this ATR is right here. Okay. You have a pivot high reversal bar potential here, as well as on your 5-minute chart. I actually like to draw a line where my strike is. So this is at 96. So if I come over to my 1-minute chart and just snap a line right at 96, I want to put it a little bit lower than 96, only because it does have to be at 96 or lower over here. This is about 2.3 pip move here. It's not a strong move. Now, even for those that, you don't want to trade the 5-minute binaries in your live account, they are great for practice. Practice on discipline, practice on your technical analysis technique. They're excellent for that. They truly are. Because it makes you think fast. Okay. It's almost like, do you really know your entry mechanism? Do you have the discipline to trade it? There are so many factors that go into this that, these smaller, faster binary options can really get you in the practice of it. The Nadex demo account, they start you off with 25,000. That doesn't mean you trade 10 contracts. Just trade one contract, okay? You will get to the point where, hey, you can analyze a chart very quickly. You know what to pay attention to. You know your risk to reward. There are so many things that can actually help you on this particular binary. Now, in this case, I don't really know if that expired in the money. I don't think it did because I think that's what I started with. Um, the close on this bar was 94.9, so maybe it did. That was right on the border. Could have went either way. Now, in this case, do you see how your stochastics here? Now, mine is a much smoother stochastics, okay? Um, so you don't have a lot of the bumps that other stochastics has. And what I'm looking at, okay, we're potentially overextended here. We are not overextended here or here, okay? You do have the hidden divergence over here. Now, if the higher time frames play out, it's going to break through this ATR at 92. Okay, so that's the 93 area. You could come in and say, okay, I'm going to do one contract for 127.88. Now, you're going to have a lot of movement to get that, okay? But you're only risking $10.50, $11.75, okay? Could it happen? Yeah, it could if this one plays out, because this is a pivot high on the 3-minute with a potential for it over here. Now what you want to do is say, okay, this is at 88, so I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to bring this line down to, 88. In this case, we're at 88.1. I need it a little bit lower than that typically. About here is where I would want it. Now, we can always go over here and set a target, okay? We entered this at 88.5. Let's say it goes down to 25, okay? We would make the difference between 88.5 and 25, okay? You can place your order there. That way, if you get distracted and you're looking over here, not looking over here, if it comes down and hits that number, then you will actually be filled more than likely over here, okay? So let's wait and watch and see what it does. Can you always get these for, 10 to 15 bucks? No. But this is also where it instills discipline, If you find yourself getting mad at the market and just jumping in, it comes out through these 5-minute binaries. But that's a good thing, because then you get to address that issue and say, okay, I need to do something here where I'm not trying to take revenge on this market, or I'm trying to force this market into my direction, okay? Because the market's going to do what the market wants to do when the market wants to do it, and not one moment before that. You can always exit early. For example, do you see how this is overextended right now? Okay, you've got 1 minute and 16 seconds. Because I have that working order, well, it just filled my working order, so forget that. That's the beauty of setting that working order there, okay? You can get filled very quickly on that working order, because I would not have stayed in this until expiration knowing that this is overextended. Does not matter what my higher time frames are doing. If I see the market's overextended, I don't want to give that profit back. Okay? You can also see here it's telling you got bearish divergence on the 3-minute euro. On the British pound dollar, you're getting bearish hidden divergence. Those are, it's just like this one. Okay? It's telling you that the bears are taking over. Okay? It's going to go down. Listen up. I traded a lot of the British pound yen this morning prior. Been up since about 3 o'clock trading. And these are the ones you really want to focus in on when the U.S. opens and there's some volatility in this market. You know, you want that movement for these 5 minute binary options, but you also want to develop your discipline with your trading technique. Most people that know me know my entry is going to come at an ATR, okay? It will either be the 1 minute ATR or the 3 minute ATR. Sometimes you can get it right at the 5 minute ATR, okay? Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 trades to get it right. But again, if you're using these 5 minute binaries with low risk, you can actually get it done. Again, I would not want to go into this market with this being overextended. You know, great opportunity to go look at the euro dollar. And it will take a minute because this does create a lag, which is why I'm not trading my live account. Here's your divergence. Okay, so not only could you have done the USD JPY, you could have also done the euro. I think we were on the euro. I don't even remember now. I've traded so much this morning. We can go to the euro yen. Yep, that's the one that we did trade. Now, this is one I want it to retrace back up to this ATR, possibly test this moving average. Hey, then we would get another trade. You would see, okay, you've got the white, the blue, and the red. What would I want to see? I'd love to see hidden divergence as that went back to test that white ATR. Okay. Let's go look at the British pound yen. You can see that we just had pivot lows develop. But this is intrabar, so that low could be taken out. On the British pound, here's your hidden divergence. Again, okay. You also have it over here on the 5 minute chart. So this is one I might want to go over and say, okay, I'm going to give this one a try. It's trading at 28.20, which is this one. So again, we're going to try this one for 89.25. We're just going to do one contract here. Okay. And again, this is off of this one. Okay. And this is simply saying, okay, this should come down. Okay. Just because we've had that bullish hidden divergence here. This is a pivot high. If you've watched my video on YouTube about trading candlestick patterns, you had a doji followed by a bearish bar. Typically that means it's going to come down. I'd like it to come below 28.16. Where's our strike? 28.15. Okay. What will keep this from going where we want it to go? Right now, the one thing that's going to keep it is, you see right here, you're not getting a lot of movement. Okay. You're not getting a lot of movement on this one, only because they do have a budget that's going to be announced today. So there's your 28.15. It has to be less than this in order to make money on this binary, which only has 1 minute and 16 seconds. Could it move? It's the British pound. British pound could do any damn thing. Okay. And there's no other way to explain that other than it can do anything. It can be a very, very fast mover. Okay. In this case, you've got 59 seconds. We really need that move to come on in, boys. You need 2.2 pips right now within the next 49 seconds. The one good thing about, we're only risking $10 on this. So, you know, if we give any profit back, we're giving $10 back. Okay? That's all you're giving back. If you click over here, you can see, okay, it's 25 seconds, 24 seconds, 23. These are very fast moving binaries. Okay? You can also see that here. You've got 14 seconds left. Was this a long shot? Sure it was. Does that mean we're not going to do it? Nope. So in that case, you lost 10 bucks. You know, on the other one, what we made, I don't know, 60, 65. You're not giving away all of your profits, that's for sure. Now, could you still come back in here now and do one? Sure, you could do the 13. Okay. You're still risking, oh, I did 2 contracts. I didn't want to. You're risking about $12 per contract. And again, this is why I keep this ATR here. Okay. Because if you look at your strike width, it's, 4 pips. Well, look at your ATR. You're barely getting to the 4 pips. This is where your issue is going to be. Okay. And this is going to be, I think, a slow mover right now, only because they have a potential announcement today regarding their budget. On the Euro, Merkel announced that she was not going to run for re-election, which has really actually caused the Euro to move really good this morning. The British pound has been beautiful this morning. I had a really, really nice run up, and then it started to come down. Again, I would like to see it test this ATR first. But do you see how your average true range, okay, this one is a 5 pip strike. Do you see how all of these are staying above that 5 pip mark? That makes it much easier to trade these versus one that's barely moving. Okay. In this case, I would actually like it to see it come back to here. It may actually go higher since this one is overextended as well. And you potentially have some very, bullish divergence here as well. When I get real quiet, I'm analyzing, so give me a minute. You may actually pop up off that one. And if I think this is going to pop up, what would I want to see? Well, I want this white ATR to be below price, probably around 96 or 97. It's probably going to take at least one more 5-minute bar, maybe 2. Let's get this one highlighted. Now this has got 59 seconds to move above 06. This would be the one that I would choose. It could do it, I don't think it will, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to wait. I do think it's going to move up, especially with the 15-minute being there. But because you're looking at the 15-minute, okay, it can just kind of hang here. That would be a couple of these 5-minute bars, so don't rush into it, okay? Let's go back and look at the USD JPY. again, you're overextended here. You want to wait that out. There's only 4 pips between this congestion dot and this ATR. The strike width right now on the USD JPY is 4 pips. Do not try to trade that. Again, when you see the white ATR below, the blue ATR above, this is when it gets hard to trade. It's very visual. I don't like to trade in those 4 pip ranges. And one reason is because I'm using the out of the money binary options. Okay. So I'm looking at doing 31. Well, that's 3 pips away in 3 minutes. Okay. And then it's going to have to be, let's see, 31. Your ATR is actually at 31.3. That tells me I'd probably have to take profit early on that one. Now, if you go into, let's say, 35, you're risking $75 to make 25. That just, mathematically, that doesn't make sense to me. Can you do it? Sure, you can do it. It's your option. You choose the risk level that is comfortable to you. I choose not to do that one. And see, this is identifying you're only moving about 2 pips right now. The prior bar moved 5. The one before that moved 3. You're not getting a lot of movement on the USD JPY right now. And I don't want to do it because if it comes back to 31, it's going to be 31.7, which would be greater than 112.31. I'd be going short. It's not the trade I want. Let's go back and look at the British pound. No, British pound yen, it was moving better. You're approaching overextended here. You are overextended here. You're making some bullish divergence there, though. You do have bullish divergence over here. I would prefer that it already have broken this ATR. You've only got 1 minute left on that one. So British pound yen. I don't have a lot of faith that it's going to move 3 pips in the next 45 seconds. And that's what it comes down to, how fast it can move in that time period. Ideally, what I would like to see would be for it to flip this ATR, go to the white congestion dot, come back and test it, and then go back up. That's what I would like to see. But I don't always get what I want. Now you can see your trend divergence here, okay? I do not rely on this indicator for entry because I know it's going to come in late. I use the price bars. And this is probably going to hit this ATR. It may even go up as high as here. And then I would expect it to come back and test for support. Again, there's no reason to rush. You've got another 5-minute binary every 5 minutes of the day. You can also see on the British pound yen, look at your ATR, that yellow histogram, okay? And you see those are staying above, you know, 8 pips, 9 pips, 10 pips. Those make it much easier to trade versus these that are doing 2 and 3 pips. But you cannot be scared of taking a loss. If you're scared of taking a loss, the market will eat you alive. Here you can see that the trend divergence on the 1 minute is highlighted. I'd like to see it come back and test this ATR, which is at 143.97. Ideally, on that 1 minute, we'll see hidden divergence. If it doesn't come in, then we don't have a trade. It's that simple. Again, you know, you're using the 5 minutes to help you with your analysis techniques and to actually process information faster. You know, how much is your risk? How much is your reward? It doesn't really matter what you put on a chart. If you have discipline and risk to reward that work in your favor, you have the potential of being a successful trader. If you don't have the discipline, then you probably shouldn't be trading. If you're just going to throw a dart at the screen and jump in, oh, you could potentially still make money if your risk to reward is in your favor. What do I mean by risk to reward ratio? Well, you know, if you're risking $15 to make a potential of 85, your risk to reward ratio is in your favor, okay? And to calculate that is relatively simple. You just take a calculator. If you make 85 risking 15, your risk to reward is 1 to 5.6. That means it's going to take 5 trades to knock out your winnings. And this one, you're getting hidden divergence to the downside, which means more than likely it's going to break the ATR over here on the 5 minute. 144.03 is where it's trading. We're going to do one contract here at $12.75 a risk. And this one is primarily off of the 3 minute, not the 1 minute. Okay. And what you're seeing off of this, let me highlight this, is you're seeing higher highs in the stochastics, but over here on the 3 minute chart, you're seeing lower highs. Okay. Now, does that mean you're going to instantly have a winner? Hell no. Okay. It just means that, hey, if the hidden divergence works out, okay, you're risking, $13 to make $87.25. That's what that means. That's all that means. In this case, your strike is at 143.98. Okay. So I'm just going to put a line on my chart. And basically, I want it to about here. And this is going to be your problem. That ATR is going to be your problem. If this hidden divergence does not work out and this ATR holds, that's going to be your problem. We'll wait and see. And there's your hidden divergence. Do you see how I marked that early and this is just now coming in? Okay. That's the reason I don't suggest that you use a divergence indicator, but you learn. This is great for saying, oh, I missed that. You know, I should have caught that. But by the time this plots, I already know it's there. I've been trading this for a long time. Okay. So if you wait for this line to develop, you're probably late to the game. I shouldn't say game, but... And do you see how you're getting overextended on that 1 minute? Could it go lower? Sure, because this is being fueled by the 3 and the 5. If you look over here to 5, this is your pivot high. This is your 3-bar reversal as it stands right now, but you've got 2 minutes left. There's a lot that can change in this bar in 2 minutes. You got 1 minute and 40 seconds left. Ideally, it'll come down and hit this slow moving average here. Does that guarantee it? No. It's nice that the white dot appears at 143.94. Okay. Now, because this is already overextended, I'm going to go ahead and take profits here. So in this case, you had a little over 1 to 5 risk to reward ratio. Okay, that means it's going to take 5 trades to knock out this one. That's what that means. Now, I would have stayed with it if this was not overextended and this white dot was not here. Okay? With that white dot there, this being overextended, you know, an extra 20 bucks is not worth it to me. I want to lock it in. That's what I did. If you notice over here on the 15 minute, you got that white dot being plotted right at that slow moving average. That's probably where it's going to come to. Is it a given? Nothing in life is a given. You've got to work for it. Typically, I do 3 of these at an opening. Okay. Sometimes I'll do more than that because some days I have days that everything I touch just turns to gold. I take advantage of that. And I will trade up until the point I have a losing trade. Once I have a losing trade, then I stop it. I do not give all of my profits back with one trade. It's typically going to take quite a few trades to take my profits away. And I'm just going to move this line out of the way. See if it comes back and tests this ATR here. It's about 05. It would be nice if we got hidden divergence. It doesn't look like we're going to, but hey, anything's worth a shot. You see, this is where I want it to go higher. I want it to go back to that ATR, which is coinciding with the medium-term moving average. If this turns out to be a pivot low, which it looks like it's going to, that's going to cause your stochastics to move up, which is going to give you what? Trend divergence to the upside. I still think it's going to go down. So the next question is, where is a strike? You've got 02 to 98. It's about 3 pips. Could it do that in a minute and a half? It could, but it's not likely. So do I want to risk my profits today to take that? No. I'll wait on the next binary, which comes out in a minute and 13 seconds. If you also notice over on that 15 minute, you've almost got hidden divergence. Not quite, but damn near it. You're making higher highs. And I mean, it just about came back to it. Almost. Then a smidgen. That's what we call a smidgen. What I would like to see it is go up here, come back and test. Until it does that, I'm really not interested in it. You see how much that ATR, the yellow histogram, you're getting anywhere between 10 to 15 pips right now. Like some good trading there. I also kind of want that 15-minute to end. I do think it's going to go up because that's close enough to hidden divergence for me to want to trade it. I will not go into a market that's already overextended, especially when it's overextended on this 1 minute. I want it to come back down and give me an entry. If it doesn't come down, then I will not enter. It's a potential reversal bar here. This would have to close under the low of that. You're at 144.10. ATR is at 143.98. Could you potentially trade that? At damn risk better be low. It's at 10. That's 7 pips in 2 minutes. I don't think I want that one. And it very well could come down below that area. I'd rather wait for it to get down here and then take a trade. You also see your slow moving average is right at 144. Your ATR is at 143.98 within 2 pips of that area. This bar should go lower on the 1 minute because that was a pivot high formation. If you don't know your candlestick patterns and pivot highs and pivot lows, you know, I've got a ton of videos on candlestick patterns and price patterns. Go watch them, learn them, practice them on a 1 minute chart. See how price is not moving, stochastics is going down though? That's a good thing. That's what you call time decay too. See how that ATR is pulling up with price? Okay, we got 09. We might get to 13. You're going to risk $23 to find out, though. Again, I'm only going to do one contract for 20. See if I can get in. Yep. And I just think this ATR is going to hold. And I might be too early on this. We'll see, though. And the reason is I think it might come up here to 144.19. It's never a given. As I have said repeatedly, it will do what it wants, when it wants, how it wants. You can also see right now we're going down in volatility. But again, you're not going to give all your profits back. If this does lose, you have not given all of your profits back. The strike is at 144.13. It's got about 2.5 minutes to get there. We'll snap a line there. We've got about 1 minute and 20 seconds left. And there's a lot of vibrations in the British pound yen. But again, if you're only risking $20 to potentially make, $80, how nervous are you? I'm not that nervous. And a lot of times, and this is important to understand with the binaries, a lot of times by the time you look over to exit, if you're right at your strike, you'll already be in a negative. So again, this is one reason I really use the out of the monies, because I'm comfortable with that risk level. I'm not going to get paranoid over it. This is either going to expire in my favor or not. You got 22 seconds. You better be watching this number, because that's the number that matters. Okay? This number right here. You can pull up the chart and it will show you. It's got to be at 144.131 or greater. If it's not, hey, you lost. What did you lose? You lost 20 bucks. In this case, you made money. Okay? So we took It wasn't, it was a little bit over $20, but we made 80. Okay. Any questions? Because that's it. I'm tired now. The 5 minute binaries will tire you out. I have to get up and I have to take a break, walk around. Can't nobody say that it was a losing day because it wasn't. Did we have some losers? Yeah. But if you go back at the beginning and look at the available balance and then look at the available balance at the end of it, I know you made money because I think it was somewhere around 200. I'm not sure. Any questions? All right. Thank you all for joining me for the live stream. Again, even if you don't want to trade the 5 minute binaries with your live account, do them in demo one contract, okay? In your demo account. Because it will help you overcome that emotional baggage that you have attached to your losing trades. And it'll also teach you discipline, okay? If you notice, these trades that we wait for to set up correctly, a lot of times they will make money if you'll just sit and wait for it to be there. Okay? All right. Everybody have a wonderful day trading. I may do some more tomorrow. Again, if you're a subscriber to my channel, you'll actually see when I go live. Okay? All right. Everybody have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.